Okay, I have to show you something. You see this huge pile? These are all my rejected books. I have been trying to sell a book since 2003, and these are just some of the many drafts of all different drafts and all different books. So for anyone who happens to be looking at my Instagram now and says like, oh my gosh, wow, this must have been so easy. This was not easy. This was from 2003. It is 2023. In fact, I just found my folder of rejection letters, and I thought I would do a dramatic reading for you. Okay. This is from Simon & Schuster, April 26, 2005. Thank you for the opportunity to consider Off Balance. Zibby writes a compelling coming-of-age novel against the backdrop of the tragedy of September 11th, and the glimpse into the world of the Harvard Business School is very interesting. Ultimately, however, one of my authors is currently revising a manuscript that examines post-9/11 America from a Boston setting. Since these two setups are more than a little similar, I'm afraid I can't offer to take on Schwarzman's novel. I'm returning the manuscript herewith, with hope that you've already heard from others who are free from such conflict. Okay, then this one's from Doubleday. Thanks for sending me Zibby Schwarzman's Off Balance, which I read with interest. Schwarzman has tackled a very tough subject, the attack on the World Trade Towers, with considerable aplomb. Her chronicle of a young woman's coming to terms with her best friend's death and getting on with her life is very credibly rendered. While I think that this novel is actually pretty realistic, I found it somewhat unsettling that the story was pretty much all about this character I named Jamie because it was fiction, and that the terrorist attacks could come to be viewed as events that simply threw her off balance. I'm sorry not to be more enthusiastic about this novel. I hope you find a warmer response elsewhere. Thanks again for thinking of me. I hope you'll find reason to try me again soon. Okay, Houghton Mifflin. I'm just going to do a couple more. Let me apologize for the delay, blah, blah, blah. I came away from the manuscript with mixed feelings. The subject matter is, of course, timely, and we're just starting to see fiction dealing with September 11th on the shelves. However, I felt that in this case, there was a disparity between the voice here and that which was being explored. To put it another way, I didn't find the narrative quite penetrating enough to take on the events of 9/11. Her perspective for me didn't open up the day or its aftermath in a way that I would have wanted, which would have been at once recognizable and also new. As well, I found the writing surrounding her decision to attend Harvard Business School somewhat mechanical and, well, overly businesslike. I found myself wanting a little more emotional depth in these pages, and so I will have to pass. Of course, this is just one person's opinion. I wish you the best of luck finding Off Balance the ride home, and I thank you for thinking of me. This is Crown. I have Crown and St. Martin's, and then I'll stop. Thanks so much for giving me the opportunity to look at Off Balance. It's a thoughtful novel that manages to deal with grief without sinking into a depressing read, and the business school angle was a fresh one. Thank goodness, not another protagonist working in magazines. But despite that, I just didn't fall in love with it, and I'm going to have to pass. We don't do a lot of fiction here, so everyone really has to be gung-ho in order to pursue a project. Ms. Schwarzman is a talented writer who deserves an enthusiastic publisher, and I'm going to have to step back and let another house take this on. And last one, from St. Martin's Press. Thanks very much for thinking of me for Off Balance for Zibby Schwarzman. I agree with you that Zibby is a very talented writer. She very accurately captures the sense of anxiety that goes along with any quarter-life crisis. I also thought that she dealt with mourning and sadness in a sensitive, articulate manner. Unfortunately, though, I didn't fall in love with the story, so I'm going to pass on this opportunity. Please send along my best wishes to Zibby, and I'd love to hear more about your list soon. So that was from 2005. It's 2023. And then I found one more thing you might find interesting. I wrote this paper in this class I took at business school called finding your, I don't even know what it was, finding SACDs. It's like social, I don't even know, something about career skills and trying to figure out what you want to do. And so we took 1 million assessments, and I came away with a couple things about jobs that were really important to me and that I summarized and that I haven't achieved until now. And here is the summary, and you'll see that I am doing these things. 1, an ideal physician would require using my understanding of other people to come up with and communicate new ideas. I should find a job that requires hard, challenging work with a continually evolving set of projects and deliverables in which I can apply creative thinking and which does not require quantitative analysis. The end result of my work efforts should be a meaningful contribution that helps others and makes them happy, one that I am individually recognized and valued for. A role that rewards compassion, sensitivity, empathy, and support, and that does not require decision-making would be ideal. Because I solve problems best iteratively, first brainstorming, then thoroughly researching, then relying on what feels right, and when I'm relaxed, I need a job that allows for flexibility in my timing, schedule, and work style. I thrive in entrepreneurial, harmonious, tension-free work environments, and when working with people I really care about. I operate at my best when I'm feeling supported and loved, and when I have a strong support system nearby. And then I think I concluded that there were no jobs like this. The only ones I could think of were psychologist, brand consultant, market researcher, product developer, writer, and professor. But none of those really fit the bill. And I concluded that I was going to just write a book. But I said, balancing my personal and professional commitments is not easy. However, if I can keep some perspective and remember how lucky I am to have such nice career options, and maybe making these decisions wouldn't seem quite so daunting, or so I hope. So I basically said I would limit my search to client service agencies versus companies, since I don't like working on only one product. And I have to find something that would be meaningful to me. It says, I will attempt to find a role that allows for the understanding of human behavior. And it says, given how important my need to control my hours and workload is, I would love to find a job in which the hours are somewhat flexible and work done remotely would be acceptable. This was in 2002. Since this is extremely rare and hard to find, I may have to settle for now with just finding a job with predictable hours. Let's see. So I'll evaluate everything, and it says my biggest fear is I'll take a job to settle or because the timing is right. And my 5-year plan, be challenged, work hard, think creatively, add value to the world, maintain control over my hours and assignments, get recognized for my work, use my sensitivity and empathy in the workplace, feel proud of what I do, feel comfortable and at home in the office, never dread getting out of bed to go to work in the mornings, life's too short, keep learning, improve my skills, hone my areas of expertise, continue writing and try to get published, keep my support structure strong, have time to help friends whenever they need it, settle down in a city for good, and then I said, get married. So that was in 2002. In potential hindrances, I put terrorism, could be killed before achieving any of my goals. So luckily I'm okay. And other hindrance, not enough time to do everything I want. Anyway, all to say, in 2002, I basically knew what I needed to do, but couldn't find it. And I spent all this time writing all these books, and it took until very recently to not only write my own, but to help people bring their own out into the world, which has been like a million times more rewarding than writing my own books. So as inspiration to anybody who thinks that I just am successful and this is the way it's been and whatever, not the case. If it happened to me, it can happen to you.